Hey YouTube, Chris and Jaden here.
What is up?
We are on our way to a baby shower for a family friend of ours. But we wanted to do a quick video about what we're seeing right now in the market, along with some of our advice for purchasing a car right now. Is it the right time? And what we see is happening.
I have a gentleman here. He's been waiting. We're still really busy. So he's been waiting. He actually got approved through his own lender, which is Navy Federal Credit Union.
Okay.
They're going to be sending him a check on Tuesday, which he's more than happy to bring us. I was just curious if you're okay if he still took the car, as long as you can show me like the proof of the check.
What car is it?
It's the 2009 Chevy Silverado.
Oh, the black one, the consignment?
Oh, it's a consignment.
Because it's a consignment, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, if it wasn't a consignment, I won't mind as much, but it's not our vehicle, so I just need funds before it leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay.
You're good.
Bye.
Look at that.
Boom.
So,
Is now a good time to buy a car?
yes. Okay, so last month, November 2023, we ended...
We
our
moved a
month-
lot of units.
We did. We ended our month at 71 cars sold, which is a lot for us. Typically, we sell between 55 to 65 cars, so we actually sold more cars this month, or last month, than we typically do. One of the reasons why is because we ended up offloading some of our aged inventory,
Higher priced
some of our
inventory.
higher priced inventory, along with some of our cars that we've let sit because we knew they were going to be big losses and wanted to pretend like they just disappeared and didn't exist anymore. So we finally paid attention to them and got rid of them. We sold them through the auction or wholesaled them to some mechanics that we know because they've got bigger issues than what we're willing to deal with.
And we also sell some of the cars as mechanic specials, and I also just discounted a lot of cars to get them out of here. You lose and make money on when you buy a car. So all the losses I took last month were all purchases the majority of them were all purchases that I paid too much for in the beginning. So people think you make money on a car when you sell it. You don't. You make money on a car when you buy it. And they were a lot of loaded up cars. I buy a lot of cars. So out of every 10 cars I buy, 2 of them are gonna be stragglers or losers or,
End up having something wrong that we
didn't
know
foresee
or couldn't
or
catch or
yeah, it's part of the game. You know, if we're buying all new cars, if I was a new car dealership, it'd be a little bit different story because you'd have factory incentives and you'd have different flooring and different types of programs to get customers into the cars, things like that. But when you're buying used cars, it's just like selling used tennis shoes, used watches, used jewelry, houses, anything that's been used and has already been priced out of the market once, you're taking a risk on. What?
that'll be the line of the year. Selling used cars is like selling used tennis shoes.
Let's say about Nikes. I saw a video of a guy flipping Nikes. So it made me think of it.
Of course you say tennis shoes first instead of like houses.
Well, what's the opposite of a car? Tennis shoes. You gotta take your Lamborghinis. your Ferraris to work if you don't have a car. So that goes to say, if you're sick of taking your Lamborghinis to work and you need a car, is now a good time.
Right, that's a good segue. Obviously, everybody is noticing that there is a shift in the market. We are definitely noticing that as well. And it's true. Prices are starting to come down on vehicles and interest rates are still high. Those are not going to be coming down anytime soon. And so, with that being said, we are in December now, and it's the end of the year.
It's the end of the year.
When you take all of the things into account, it being the end of the year, interest rates aren't going down anytime soon, like within the next year. If you need a vehicle, then absolutely right now is the time to buy.
Buy a used car.
Buy a used car, yes. We're talking
Someone started a fire. Homeless guy has a fire going right there by the bridge. Oh, I wish we would have got that, man. That is a freaking fire going off. I don't know what that is burning, but it is burning. Oh, Portland.
Portland.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anywho, so yes, right now is a good time to buy when you take all of those things into account, because it is the end of the year, meaning that dealerships are going to be offloading as much inventory as they can. You know, we're going to be trying to get rid of our losses and any of our aged inventory, our more expensive inventory. So we're discounting prices left and right. I know other dealerships are too. And again, we're talking specifically about used cars because we are a pre-owned dealership and we want to focus on that. There's a lot of talk about what's going on with new car stores and everything, which is great. And that's all good information, especially because it does affect used vehicles. But we want to talk more specifically on used cars and what's going on with all of that. So, also, another reason why this month and right now specifically is a good time to purchase is because going into the beginning of next year, we are going to start going back into tax time. And whenever we get into tax season, vehicle prices start going up because dealerships start purchasing more vehicles to have in stock for tax.
Because there's more cash in the market. So because there's more cash in the market, more buyers have the ability to put larger down payments or to buy cars outright. Now the price range of cars that actually increases in value is usually cars under $12,000. Tax time doesn't really bring an increase to $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 cars, because a lot of people aren't getting $30,000 tax returns. However, a lot of people are getting $1,000 to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and with that you can either buy a car outright or put a good down payment on a car. So that being said, if you're trying to buy a car that's under the $10,000 to $12,000 range, right now really is going to be the best time until this summer, once all the tax money's gone. So tax money will hit February through March, April, May, June, July, August. You'll see prices drop again. But if you're trying to get that $5,000 to $10,000 car, now is definitely the time. Now the weird thing is, because new car stores aren't selling as many cars, that means they're not getting as many trade-ins. Well, a lot of cars that I purchase are from new car stores. So it's usually their trade-ins that they're getting, right? And they're sending off to auction, or maybe it's their older inventory that's used. Well, if they're not selling new cars, they're not getting new trade-ins in to send off to auction for dealers. So I think we will actually see an inventory crunch, but that will cause more demand from buyers, which will also bring prices up too. So the less used cars on the market creates a supply problem. And because vehicle prices that are high, people don't want to pay 8% interest on a $40,000 car. They want to go buy a $10,000 car. Well, less dealers are going to have $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 cars because new cars aren't selling new cars. New car stores aren't selling new cars. So we will see an inventory crunch going into this winter, and interest rates aren't going to be changing at all, and prices are definitely going to be going up. I would say from now till the end of January is the time to purchase, especially now. I have a lot of cars I am more than happy to get rid of for a $500 profit to get the heck off my lot, because I do not want that car going into the new year. I'll take $0 profits on aged inventory. I'll lose money on aged inventory right now to get rid of anything old, so I can buy up as much inventory as possible between now and January to get ready for tax season. So
yeah, exactly. And if we're doing that, then that means that other dealerships are going to be doing that as well.
Yeah. Oh, and that also brings into account trade-ins. Keep in mind, if vehicle prices are going down right now, do not expect top money out of your trade-in. If you're going to be trading a car in, try to make it nice at least before you trade it in. Get as much trade value as you can. Over the last 7 years, I have always been the guy that pays more for trade-ins. I try to be as fair and as aggressive as I can to give a customer a better deal. But over the past year, 6 months to a year, I have been aggressive on the opposite side, and I've been paying a lot less for trade-ins because I know very good and well that prices have been dropping on the used car side a lot. I buy a lot of cars. I buy over 20 plus cars a week through auction. I'm buying 60 to 80 cars a month, taking in trade-ins, consignments. So if you have a trade-in, get rid of it as soon as you can and make it as nice as you can before you bring it in, because I am paying, and every other dealer, I'm going to pay a more premium price if a trade-in is that much cleaner if it's that much nicer, if things are taken care of just that much better, if the oil looks clean, I'm going to pay a little bit more, and it's actually worth it. During the last 3 years, you could bring a clapped out trade-in in that had an engine on fire, and a dealer would give you $2,000. I put that in quotes. They'll give you $2,000 for it because they can just send it to auction to get $2,000 for it. Right now, if a car is too dirty or doesn't have good oil, or I have to change fluids, tires, I am hitting vehicles a lot harder on trade, and so are other dealers. So try to make your trade-in a little bit nice before you bring it in, and we'll actually add a little bit of curb appeal to your trade-in. So, yeah.
Yep, that's a good point to put in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was filming the bridge the whole time.
Also, I do want to go on this lending. A lot of dealers are talking about, there's a lot of YouTube guys right now, there are dealers talking about lending being tight. We had a lot of finance deals last month. We sold 71 vehicles. I think we had 50 finance deals out of those 71, 40 to 50 finance deals.
That's not typical either. We are
usually 50-50 down the middle.
Over the past 4 years, 50-50.
No, over 7 years.
Probably,
50-50, yeah.
Over the last 7 years, it's been 50-50, 50% cash, 50% finance.
Last month was 60 or 70% finance. And I wouldn't say lenders are getting stricter at all, honestly. The only thing I'd say they're a little more strict on is just stipulations. What are stipulations, right? Proof of address, proof of pay, proof of employment, proof of residence, proof of insurance. I've been seeing a lot more stipulations for deals, but I wouldn't say lending's actually gotten any tighter. I think it's been fine. There's more repossessions and more bankruptcies on the market right now, so we are getting more. Actually, we are getting a lot more used inventory because of repos, which has been good. Sad for the people that are, of course, getting repossessed. But I wouldn't say lending has actually gone tighter, at least not here on the West Coast. I don't know what the rest of the U.S. is doing, but local credit unions have been just fine getting our customers loans. And the average consumer has definitely gotten used to 6 to 8, 9, 10% interest. It's the norm. It's what's happening now. And historically, interest rates are 12 to 13% actually over a 30-year period. So getting a 6 to 8% car loan over a 30, 40-year extrapolation of what's actually happened over the previous 3 to 4 decades.
Where are you getting 30 and 40-year term?
No, not terms. No. So if you extrapolate, I realize that too. Yeah.
Come to Synergize Auto, where we finance you for 40 years on a.
We don't.
I'm just kidding. We don't.
But if you extrapolate the data over the last 3 to 4 decades, the average interest rate for homes and cars is like 12 to 13%. We got very spoiled with 0% to 3% interest rates. To be honest, a bank cannot make money if they're not loaning at least 6 to 8%. Honestly, they need to be loaning at least 10% on their money to even make money. So this is normal. This needs to happen.
Or it needs to be a longer term.
Or it needs to be a longer term so they can keep up interest. So I haven't seen any dip in financing, to be honest. I don't know if other dealers are cuddle dealers or if they're set up on direct lending, but we've been fine. So go buy a car between now and February.
Perfect. Go do it. And let us know in the comments if you are purchasing a car, or if you just purchased a used car. We'd love to know what it is that you guys are buying, what kind of prices you guys are paying, and if you have any questions, please comment below. We are responding to everybody, and we're more than happy to answer any questions you may have about a vehicle that you're looking at, the market, how dealerships work, are you getting taken advantage of, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your question is, we'd love to answer it for you. All right, have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you next time on The Dealership Live.